Welcome to the Business Growth Trailblazers podcast, part of the Digital Trailblazer podcast family. This podcast is dedicated to bringing you experts and strategists who can help you, entrepreneurs, launch, grow, scale, or potentially even sell your businesses, providing insights, guidance, and tips throughout the business lifecycle to take you and your business to the next level. Welcome. It is Leah Ray Getz, and with me today is Rachel Laverne. Rachel, welcome. We are happy to have you with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, thank you for having me. So, as Leah said, my name is Rachel Laverne. I'm the founder of Rachel Laverne LLC and also the founder of SoFix, and that's a business process optimization consultancy. And we specialize in helping micro entrepreneurs, particularly those run by women, streamline their operations and boost their productivity. Our services include business process optimization, technology consulting, and also a bit of project manager. We're just all about empowering the small business owner to implement efficient systems and processes so that their business can run even in their absence.
So helpful, so important. I'm about to take a week-long vacation myself, and my team is stepping in and doing a bunch of stuff. So I can attest, as a small, small scale entrepreneur with a small team behind me, this stuff is super duper important so that you can actually have a life. So, so I'm curious, where did all this start for you? How did you get into this?
Well, funny, my background, it might be a little bit similar to yours. I got out of college and I started off in IT, first as a developer, and then I went on to business systems analysis. And then I even went a little bit further into that and started working with Fortune 500 companies and Fortune 100 companies across several different industries. And a lot of them were in healthcare, not Sutter, but Kaiser and WellPoint, Blue Cross. Helping them optimize their system. And of course, during that time, I became, I guess, an expert at optimizing systems and processes. And then I'm also a small business owner. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My first business, even out of tech, was an interior design company. And before you knew it, I was buried. I was overwhelmed. From the outside looking in, you would say I was prosperous, but I was killing my life. Oh, excuse me, I had no life.
Right.
I didn't really own my business owned me. And no matter how much I loved what I was doing, I'm not here just to build a business. I wanted family, and I love to travel. But if I took time away to even spend with my family and my friends, believe me, everything came to a standstill. And it took a long time of me working like that, believe it or not, with my background, before I started thinking that I could take some of the methods that I use for corporate America and put them in my business. Of course, you chunk it way down to a smaller level. I was a solopreneur at that time. But you chunk it down, but those same theories work for the small business owners too. So that's when I started saying, systems is key. That's one of my mantras now. Systems are key.
Yes, 100%. They absolutely are. So where do you find with folks that you're working with these days, what are some of their biggest sort of hitches or hiccups in their businesses that they really need to systematize or streamline?
All around, it's amazing. Well, I shouldn't say it's amazing. Maybe it depends on what you've been exposed to. A lot of people, and I don't believe in convincing people, but I've talked to a lot of small business owners who, they will admit that they're having the overwhelm. They're burned out. They're working 24/7. Business life balance, what the heck is that? They don't even know that that's really possible. And that surprises a lot of people because they didn't know that running a business took working around the clock. And they don't even know that a lot of times the root cause is they're dealing with inefficient processes. And so we just help them overcome those challenges by implementing tailored systems and processes that automate their manual tasks. One of the popular ones is whether you're a product or a service business, you're selling something, right? Either a service
Mhm.
or a product. So there's a way that a person comes into your business. How do you onboard them? How do you deliver your services? How do you offload them when they're done? How do you keep in touch with them
Mhm.
after the sale? So all those things can be systemized. And I find that the biggest bang for their buck normally is having them to look at their customer journey,
Mhm.
because that customer journey touches every critical point of your business, right?
Yeah.
And if you just see which systems are touched throughout that journey, those are your critical systems to start with. There's probably no more than 10 for a small business. And
Mhm.
even if that number sounds big, it really isn't, because you always want to be tweaking. You always want to be giving your service with excellence. You want
Mhm.
to, so why not start where the buck starts, right?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Todd and I are huge on systemizing. Like that's automate, systematize the whole thing as much as you can, and so you can leave space for appropriate personalized touch and different things in the sales process and working with your clients and all of that good stuff. But
Yeah.
the manual grind and hustle that a lot of people find themselves in with their follow-ups, with all of these things, and just chasing their tail continually and never getting ahead, which is that's a surefire way to burn out.
Right. I'm curious, Leah, did that come
Mhm.
from your background in systems?
I probably did actually. So Todd and I both worked in the electronic health record world in IT, and both fairly techie people. And so being able getting into this space, the tech part really made sense.
Mhm.
And we've always thought, well, why would we do something manually if we could automate that? Like, why would we do that? That doesn't make sense. So
Right.
I think we really leaned into the systems and automation right at the beginning of our business, learning how to do that in this space because of just the potential. Because we've got kids. Like this is not, we want to be able to have a lot of the heavy lifting done for us, and so that's why we got started in business, and that's really why I think um, we've leaned in hard on
Mhm.
whenever we can automate and systematize.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So so customer journey. So let's kind of take our audience to this a little bit. So like do you just like get out with like your clients that you're working with? Do you have them like create a Visio or just create a note, grab a notebook and a pad of paper and just, start writing this down, what's currently happening, and then going step by step on how to improve that? Or what does that look like?
I'm sorry, say it again? How
So
do I
you
go
talked
through the
about
client journey or
yes. So the customer journey, right? So if you're for the audience that want to kind of take a stab at this themselves, right? Walk us through what that actually looks like. Do they just grab a pen and paper and start kind of writing down what it currently is and then look for opportunities on how to improve that or systematize that? Or what does that really look like?
yeah, that's a good starting point. You want to I don't know if I wanna tell them to start with Visio. I don't know if most
Right.
people that I know what that is. Make it easy on yourself. Maybe just start
Mhm.
with a pencil and paper, right?
Mhm.
And just think about each step that your business goes through. Try to identify any bottlenecks. Try to figure out what's
Mhm.
taking the most of your time. Where are most of the errors probably starting at? If you can identify those. When
Mhm.
you first start mapping it, I don't ever recommend trying to tweak it right then and there. If it's a very small tweak that you see that comes to mind, yeah, go ahead and do it. But I'd
Mhm.
rather that you just take that time to just map the process. I know when I start working with people, one of the first things that I do is have a discovery session with them,
Mhm.
because I need to understand their unique situation and their goals.
Mhm.
So I need to have a better understanding of their business. So yes, you know your business. You may even know your processes, but just the fact that you're actually documenting what's really happened, not what you want to
Mhm.
happen, what's really
Right.
happening. There could be a lot of illumination just from the process of writing it down, tell
Mhm.
getting a plain picture of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think just having that picture is so, so important. I know within the last year, we recently added a different funnel or way to join into our business with our clients. And it was so much of that. It was looking at the overall process, all of those customer touch points, lead gen, prospect, sales call, the whole thing, and then evaluating the bottlenecks. Because when you start a new system or a new process or a new whatever, this part works great. Now we're getting them to step number 2. Oh, step number 2 is kind of falling off the wagon. We got to fix step number 2. And then we fix step number 2. Okay, now 4. Step number 4 kind of sucks. And that's the bottleneck. And so
Yeah.
really breaking all that down and fixing and triaging and brainstorming and going through all of that. I think that's a beautiful exercise that every single business owner should be doing in their business to help them streamline what they're doing, improve, and grow where they need to be.
Right. So good.
Awesome. Absolutely. So for I'm curious. So you're really heavy into the systemizing, automations, all that good stuff. Where are your current clients coming from?
Most of my clients are actually referrals. I'm
That's great.
still having connections with the corporate world, and they all know that I ventured out
Mhm,
into a consultancy now.
mhm,
I know that I need to have a mix of strategies to work for me, but in the past, I've been heavily relying upon referrals from
mhm,
satisfied clients, and which I think speaks to the quality of our work. And we also have some success with email marketing. We're very
mhm.
good at nurturing our leads and keeping our services top of mind for prospects.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. I think if you can build a business off a referral, you're definitely doing something right. That's wonderful. Keep rocking with that.
But they're coming to an end, I think. Well, I shouldn't say they're getting for further spread apart.
Yes.
So I need a mix of strategies and learning
Yes,
what to do.
absolutely. 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 So, what are your next steps? Like, where do you plan to grow from here?
Well, we just put the finishing touches on our first comprehensive online course, right? And
Ooh,
that's going to allow us to reach and help more business owners. And I don't know, I'm kind of playing with the idea of going into some joint ventures. Never done that before, but
mhm,
my coach is always talking about partnering with other people that provide complementary services to what I do. So
mhm,
that's what I'm also looking into, and then seeing about so I'm very techy too, as
mhm,
you are. And with AI in our faces up in front, I really would like to develop a system using AI that would make it a lot easier and a lot faster for business owners to streamline their processes.
mhm, mhm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's wonderful. So, yeah, I think referrals are great, but we can't control them or necessarily scale them. So,
Yes.
yeah, starting to, especially now that you have a course, ooh, that just gets my juices all flowing on how to get that out there and start marketing that. But um, that opens doors for, paid traffic, having some, a great webinar that sells that, being able to just do lead gen stuff like podcast guesting is great, referrals are great. And maybe sprinkling in some paid traffic to help to create some consistency that you can control,
Mhm.
and really building in a really finessed sales system and process so
Mhm.
that the cold traffic will convert, obviously is really important. But I think there's a lot of opportunity, especially now that you have your course available. So that's lovely.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yay, that's awesome. So for those who want to check you out, where should they head?
Um, My website is www.sophix, SOPHIX.co. And I list my services there, or
Mhm.
also, and I'm at Rachel Laverne on all the social media platforms, which I'm getting more active on lately.
Good, good. That's wonderful. And you have a free gift for the audience, correct?
I do. I have a boot camp, a 5-day boot camp that I'm just releasing. It doesn't start until 2 weeks, but what's good about it is I have a framework, and this boot camp gives you a bite size of each step in my framework, right?
Mhm.
You will be able to I will help you map your client journey.
Mhm.
I'll help you find out what to look for to see where the bottlenecks are. You'll leave that boot camp actually with a one sheet that will give you a complete system. It'll be one of your smaller systems in a 5-day boot camp,
Mhm.
but you'll have that one sheet when you're done, which you could then apply to all of the other systems in your business. And you also know how to prioritize which systems you do first.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. So we'll have the links to all of that in the show notes and description. Thank you so much for being with us, Rachel. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit. And if you're curious about how to be featured on one of our podcasts, make sure